You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got some Raiders news in here, and it's Raiders quarterback news. Wow, didn't see this coming. We don't know what it's about. It's supposed to be something to do with therapeutics, but Jimmy Garoppolo has been suspended from the NFL. He's got a 2-game suspension, and his Raiders career is also about to be over because the Raiders are going to release him. Now, we know Jimmy Garoppolo paired with Josh McDaniels was a train wreck, an absolute train wreck. Although I will continue to say there were certain games that the Raiders, for example, lost. One in particular, that Vikings game, that I will still contend that they actually win that game if Jimmy Garoppolo gets put into the game. We know, I'm a Niners fan, so I got a lot of experience with Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm a Garoppolo fan. I do think he's probably more of a backup quarterback now, or at least a bridge starter. But we'll have to see where his career goes. This is PFT. The picture for Jimmy Garoppolo's NFL playing future is currently unclear. It wouldn't shock me if he ends up in a place like New England. But wherever he's playing in 2024, he won't be on the field for the first 2 weeks of the season. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Garoppolo is being suspended for 2 games due to violating the NFL's performance-enhancing substances policy. So we don't know what it is exactly. We don't know if it's straight up steroids. Is it whatever it is, and they don't usually ever tell us. Schefter also reports that the Raiders are expected to release Garoppolo before the 5th day of the new league year in March. Garoppolo used a prescribed medication without having a valid therapeutic use exemption. Wow. So it was a prescribed medicine, but it didn't pass the smell test, I guess, for the league drug policy. He is not planning to appeal the 2-game suspension, or PED policy, I should say. After signing a 3-year deal with Las Vegas last March, Garoppolo is due to earn $11.25 million roster bonus on the 5th day of the new league year next month. The Raiders plan to release him before that kicks in, though there is enough time for Las Vegas to find a theoretical trade partner. Now, see, if I was a team like the Jets that ended up in a mess because they didn't have a legit quarterback that could come in and start after Aaron Rodgers got hurt, this is the kind of guy that you want on a team like that. Garoppolo, 32, started 6 games, made 7 appearances for the Raiders in 2023. He completed 65.1% of his passes for 1,205 yards, 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He was replaced by Aiden O'Connell when Antonio Pierce took over as interim head coach. And in case you're wondering, and I had to click ignore minimum snap count to even get PFF's grades to come up on Jimmy, but he was tied as the 28th best quarterback in the league. And you see, I mean, there's a lot of guys behind him, but nonetheless, he was still way down the list. However, if you look over Jimmy's career, it was just 2023 with the Niners. He had 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, 67% completion. Year before, 68, 3,800 yards, 20 TDs. And, of course, he took the Niners to the Super Bowl in that 2019 season. He went 27-13 in that game. TD to interception and 69% completion. He can still start for somebody in this league. We know, and I've told this story before, of course, we did the video where, of course, it got out there that Tom Brady was supposed to go to the Raiders. And when he decided to abruptly retire, it threw the Raiders into a bit of a pickle on the quarterback front because they had already lost Jarrett Stidham, which they would have actually re-signed. instead of letting him get off to the Denver Broncos. So Josh McDaniels was like, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo seems like sort of a natural fit. And what we found out is exactly how much better Kyle Shanahan's system is than Josh McDaniels, because Garoppolo wasn't good in it. He wasn't. And I even contended Jimmy Garoppolo struggled in part because he was like everybody else on the team. He was miserable under Josh McDaniels. I think he thought that would be a fit. I thought it would be a fit. And he got in that system and realized, no, I don't want to play with Josh McDaniels. I don't want to play in this system. It's a train wreck. So nonetheless, even with a 2-game PED suspension, and teams are going to look and be like, okay, he was prescribed this medicine. It wasn't on the approved list, so it is what it is. He's going to have to sit out 2 weeks, but somebody will sign him to probably some kind of a backup quarterback kind of deal that's got some incentives in it. Do I think somebody will glance at Jimmy as a starter? Yes, I do. Absolutely. It's because at the end of the day, Jimmy went to a Super Bowl, and Jimmy is still 23 games over 500 in his career as a starter. There was a saying before this, all Jimmy did was win until he got to the Raiders. So we'll have to find out. Would not shock me one bit if he ends up being the backup quarterback in New England. That's a thing. Maybe the Browns. That's a thing. The Dolphins behind Tua, back under Mike McDaniel. That's a thing. And that's actually a fit. And I'm telling you right now, if I'm the 49ers, and 49ers fans may cringe, but I can think of no other better backup quarterback I'd rather have than Jimmy back on the roster. You know, we know when Trey Lance got hurt and got yanked, he came in, went 7-3, 67% completion, 2,400 yards, 16 TDs, and 4 picks. He was on point for his best season ever in 2022. But then he got hurt, and that's the other problem with Jimmy is he gets hurt. Sean McVay, Rams, could see that as a possibility. There's a lot of teams that are going to take a hard look at Garoppolo. The Houston Texans as a backup quarterback for C.J. Stroud, definitely. I could see that fit as well. Tell me what you think. Not going to be a Raider. I think we all knew that. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.